Welcome to TitansRX, presented by Papyrus Converse. It's round 2, and we're at the Circuit de Dutes in SA, France. Let's start the show by having a look at all the action so far.
So, the qualifying sessions that have taken place here for round 2 at SA have been enthralling from start to finish. In the first qualifying session, we saw Kevin Hansen taking victory in his respective race. Then we saw drama for his brother, Timmy Hansen, going out at the first corner into the barrier, and then he was having to make a recovery through the field. The upshot was that Nelson Piquet led the way as Tamara Molinaro decided to try and fight her way back through the field. A difficult Q1, leaving her languishing down the field as Nelson Piquet took victory. Then race 3 in Q1 was an action-packed affair as always. Topi Heikkinen taking the race lead, Anton Mas biting off a bit more than he could chew at the first corner, and that wasn't all the drama over, with Anton Mas and Heikkinen coming to blows at the hairpin more than once, with Heikkinen eventually taking the lead and the race win in Q1. In Q2, it was very action-packed, with Shushu taking the race lead, Tamara Molinaro into second position. Shushu eventually taking the race victory, righting the wrongs of round 1 for him. Meanwhile, then we saw Q2 with Timmy Hansen striking for vengeance. He was right behind Craig Breen in this occasion. Breen leading the way, a commanding race it was for the Irishman, his first race ever in the Pantera RX6 supercar. Hansen was hot on his heels, and the two came to contact at the hairpin, again on more than one occasion as they fought for the race win. On the final lap, it was all action-packed, with Hayden Padden left ground to dry as Craig Breen took the race victory. Then as we headed forward into the next race, it was a great battle out in front between Kevin Hansen and Jerome Grosjean. Hansen leading the way, with Grosjean trying to find his way past. A great drive he found out of that corner to eventually take the race lead away. Then Hansen came under pressure from behind as we saw Topi Heikkinen looking very racy indeed. Into Q3, Tamara Molinaro led the field as Hayden Padden sought to try and take vengeance after a difficult start to his opening day. Molinaro was looking pretty good out in front in this race. However, Hayden Padden was trying to find his way back through the field. It was an exciting race, with Padden eventually taking victory after passing Molinaro on track. Then we saw Antoine Massé leading the way against Shushu in the opening stages, with Nelson Piquet going off and having to take a penalty lap following a jump start in Q3. He tried to find his way back through against Ronnie C. Rock, but it was Antoine Massé that took the victory in Q3. Then it was an all-action-packed affair in Q3, with Heikkinen taking the early race lead against Kevin Hansen. Lots of contact into the final corner, with Jerome Grosjean hung out to dry. The two Hansen brothers with damage on their car. Hansen was later awarded a penalty for the incident and missing the penalty lap.
TitansRX Europe, presented by Papyrus Converse, will hold 12 race days over the course of 6 double-header weekends in 6 different countries. A race winner is crowned at the end of each day, and a series winner at the end of the season. There will be 3 qualifying sessions, where the highest points are awarded for the final race position, as well as some extra points for the fastest overall time. This forces drivers to overtake if they want more points, and reduces the influence of track and weather conditions. As in classic Rallycross, the top 12 drivers compete in the semi-finals, and the top 6 face off in the final. Qualifying sessions have 5 laps, semi-finals have 6 laps, and finals have 7 laps. The Joker lap now becomes a penalty lap, and screens on track will tell drivers if they need to take a penalty lap instead of a spotter. Combined with the one-designed Pantera RX6 supercar, these rules will push drivers to overtake, creating exciting racing for the fans on track and our live viewers on Eurosport. To learn more, check out our website at TitansRX.eu.
Well, let's have a look at the grid, shall we, going into this first semi-final, and see who is going to be lining up there, though, shall we? Get our hands on the racing action, and we can get over to the grid now. We can see who is lining up where then. So semi-final 1 here in TitansRX. All of these drivers getting ready to race here. So here is the grid then. Timmy Hansen and Topi Heikkinen. Timmy on the inside, Topi on the outside. Row 2, Jerome Grosjean on the inside, with Shushu on the outside. And then row 3, Tamara Molinaro on the inside, and Nelson Piquet Jr., who'll be looking for better results here on the outside. So then here we are, revs are rising. Semi-final 1 in SA is about to get underway. Great start from Hansen, good launch also as well from the number 74. That is, of course, Jerome Grosjean down the inside to the first corner. He goes with Topi Heikkinen, who's on the inside and on the curb as well. Here comes Shushu, and drama at the back as Nelson Piquet spins at turn 2. Timmy Hansen does have the lead though, ahead of Topi Heikkinen, then Shushu, then comes Jerome Grosjean as they come down onto the dirt for the first time of asking. This is where we could see some very very aggressive moves being made. Look at Shushu, he's trying to find his way against Heikkinen, he's bumping him into the hairpin.
No.
And Grosjean in as
I
well.
can't
is in there.
believe this.
Big contact as well as Topi Heikkinen gets shuffled out and Shushu gets shuffled into second position. In all of that drama, Molinaro had a great view of that though as well.
Oh dear, oh dear. This is not Topi Heikkinen, and I know he left the door a little bit open, and he paid dearly. He has a really faultless weekend, but not on that hairpin anymore.
Well, this is great news for Timmy Hansen. All the while those guys were squabbling for second position, it's allowed Timmy Hansen to take the race lead and draw a commanding lead in this race. 1.8 seconds he has over the rest of the field as things stand. And this is exactly what Timmy needs to do at this stage in the weekend. He needs to get himself, of course, in the top 3 positions. The top 3 will go through to the final. Don't forget, at the moment, it's Hansen, Shushu and Jerome Grosjean. But as things stand, you just know that Heikkinen in 4th place is going to be thinking about getting past Jerome with a few laps left.
Let's see what goes on with Topi and Serom. That is really the name of the game now.
Well, it's been a big shame.
Because Topi needs to get past Serom in order to be in the finals.
Yeah, it's been a big shame for Nelson Piquet there as well. Sorry to come in front of you, Ari. He's 11 seconds down after that spin at the second corner. Big drama there for the Brazilian driver. Here comes Heikkinen down the inside of Grosjean. There was a small gap there.
And
here comes Heikkinen. He muscles his way past.
Wow.
What a move there from Topi Heikkinen, finds his way through on Grosjean. At the moment, it's now Heikkinen who goes through to the final ahead of the Frenchman. But can he pull a lead? He's already pulling out a couple of cars' advantage. And Grosjean is going to have to throw the kitchen sink at this to try and claw that gap back.
Oh dear. Well, this is extraordinary, really good. This is getting better by minute.
Well, this is what we absolutely love about Rallycross. It's been a masterful performance, though, from Timmy Hansen as things stand. He has led every single lap of this final so far. He's got 1 more to go out of the 6 here in semi-final 1, and he is looking very comfortable to try and take that victory. So he leads the way as things stand. Timmy Hansen, the older of the 2 Hansen brothers here in TitansRX, doing a brilliant job behind the wheel of that Pantera RX6, and great from Heikkinen as well, our round 1 winner yesterday.
That's right, and it's surprisingly for Suzu. I didn't expect him after his yesterday's performance to be where he is today, but that's exactly, we need surprises.
Yeah, we certainly do. So Timmy Hansen then just a couple of corners to go for the Swedish driver, trying to find his way through. He is into the final corner, and Timmy Hansen takes victory in semi-final 1 here in SA. Shushu will come over the line in second position. He kept his nose clean. It was a quiet race for the Hungarian after that first corner. A brilliant result for him. And Heikkinen is the last driver to make it through to the final as Grosjean misses out after Heikkinen muscled his way past him with a very aggressive move. Well, let's have a look at the final race results then following semi-final 1 here in SA and see who has made it through and who has missed out. So you can see Timmy Hansen, Shushu and Topi Heikkinen are the drivers who progressed through to the final this afternoon. Jerome Grosjean, who was on the podium yesterday, misses out, as does Tamala Molinaro, and also Nelson Piquet Jr. with a round to forget here in SA.
It was a really good launch, first of all. So this car is very difficult to get it right. It's easy to stall the engine. It's also easy to get a lot of wheel spin. So it's very tricky to get off the line. But I made a really good start, and that was the key, obviously, to take the lead. And after that, I'm not sure what happened behind, but I had quite a big gap. And from there, it was just about making no mistake, driving around safe, and securing my place into the final.
I'm here with Mr. Topi Heikkinen. Topi, you've raced here back in 2012, 2011. What are your thoughts on the track?
Yeah, it was back in 2011. It was my second Rallycross year, and it was a European Championship race, and I had really good memories from here that this track was fantastic in this time already. And I remember that we had a really good fight between some drivers, and yeah, for me this track is really nice one, especially this first part, the long straight into the first corner.
So Topi, end of a super long straight here. Braking point, super important.
Yeah, for sure, the first corner gonna squeeze a bit the drivers, but then when we're coming into this turn 2, it's really nice because here we can see a lot of possibilities to overtake because it's so wide over here. And after this, when we go in this long straight where it's the jump and everything, this is just a cool place.
So Topi, we're here at what looks like a banked drop chicane into a left hand. Can you explain this for me? I'm not a driver, I don't know how to explain this.
I don't either know how to explain it, but we have 130 kilometers per hour over here when we drop, and it's the same time it's like a small chicane. So this is really interesting, and I think we can see a lot of good action over here. Yeah, it's a really tricky. It's so loose gravel, which is like typical in all Rallycross tracks, which I like, that you can really bang on there and go on the sideways. So it can be interesting tomorrow.
It's going to be fun. Toppy, we just reached my favourite part of SA, the final section. Super tight right into a 90 left, into a 90 right. It looks difficult. How are you going to approach this?
You know, we're coming 170 kilos per hour from there, and then we have this small hairpin which drops so badly. So it's tricky for the drivers to keep it tight. And here we can see, I think the biggest chances for the overtake is in this corner.
Toppy, thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Cool, see you soon.
Tamara, looking back at your racing today, how would you sum it up?
Well, for sure, I didn't fulfill my goal, that was to be in the final. Anyway, I just have to be a bit more patient. I think if this morning I wouldn't make the mess there at the hairpin that the car stalled, probably I would have a better position in the start grid, and maybe would have been better, but you know, it didn't go like this, so.
Well, look, thank you for talking to us. We'll see you back at Liddon Hill. Right, back to you, Tom, over on the stage.
Semi-final 2, and the grid is all lined up and ready for the start of this one. Let's see who is going to line up where then. So the revs rising here for semi-final 2 in SA, ready to go, lights out and blast off. Good start from Craig Bean off the front row of the grid. Keep an eye out for Antoine Mass as Hayden Paddon looking very aggressive as Kevin Hansen is up the inside as well and looking very racy as he clips the curb and tries to find his way through. Antoine Mass holds on to second as Paddon goes to the outside and is nearly in the barrier, but Craig Breen has held on to the race lead. This is his first ever RX round and he is doing masterful things behind the wheel of his Pantera RX6 supercar. Into the hairpin we go for the first time. Paddon bumps into the back of Hansen, in turn bumps into the back of Antoine Massé. Side by side they nearly come down in towards the final series of corners, but that was an electrifying start there, Harry.
Yeah, because Hayden is disappointed for his performance. He said to me that now he has been pushed all over the place up until now. Now he will push other drivers, so let's see how it works out for him. But a good start, excellent start.
Very good stuff indeed. We're riding on board now with Kevin Hansen, who is up into third position from fifth on the grid. Good start there from the young Swedish driver. We saw his brother Timmy taking victory in semi-final 1 a few moments ago, and into the back of Hayden.
Let's see what happens down the hairpin. Look at that.
Look at Paddon's on the inside. Very
no, he still loses out. Still loses out.
Massé now on the inside, he finds his way through against Hayden Paddon, so despite all of his efforts there from the Kiwi, he's not able to find his way past Massé or indeed Kevin Hansen. So push the pass not being a tactic that's working so far for Hayden Paddon. You can see the damage on the front of his car there as well. Hopefully that's only cosmetic and not going to affect anything like the cooling system, for example.
You know, I said jokingly to Hayden, you are in Kiwi. So in New Zealand you don't know other people. So now you are, look at, now does he get past? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Oh dear. Oh, poor Hayden.
This is very close, very aggressive from Hayden Paddon. Let's not forget he's come over from the world of rallying. This is not a familiar territory for the Kiwi, and he is doing everything he can to try and secure a place in the final. At the moment, he needs to find his way past Antoine Massé to get himself into that final, and it's not going to be the case here so far this afternoon. Meanwhile, still leading the way is Craig Breen. He's got a bit of a gap to Kevin Hansen here, Harry. That's what he needs. He's got that buffer.
Yeah, exactly. But let's see what happens on this corner, because what is? Look at now. Hayden is outside. He can't make it like that. No.
Paddon's gonna try.
No. He will.
Close.
No. Still behind. Still behind.
So
Yeah. How will this end up? Soon find out.
Well, it's very, very action-packed. He's trying to find his way through. It's Hayden Paddon. He's using every trick in the book, and probably some he shouldn't as well. He's ducking, he's diving. He's got one lap left after this one to get past Antoine Massé. He's in the wall. Big drama in semi-final 2. Antoine Massé is in the wall. And at the moment, out of the final here in SA. Big drama, but I dare say the stewards are going to want to investigate that one afterwards, because Hayden Paddon was involved in that, and I've had notification actually in my ear that Hayden Paddon has been awarded a penalty lap for, I think, a separate incident on track, so he'll get the driver's board that will be displayed over the timing line for Hayden Paddon here, and that is a big drama for him. The yellow flag waves with the stricken car now of Antoine Massé stuck on the circuit.
No, Hayden took his pushing tactics now too far. That is, you can't deny.
Oh, red flag is out. Yeah, we've got a red flag out here, Harry. So the race has been stopped.
Oh dear.
And well, that's probably because of the stricken car of Antoine Massé. So a big drama there for the Frenchman. And Hayden Paddon, of course, well, we know he was being aggressive. He was pushing to pass with every opportunity. And bit off a little bit more than he can chew, I dare say. Yeah, absolutely. Here we have the final results then for semi-final 2 here in SA. You can see Craig Breen, Kevin Hansen and Hayden Padden are the 3 drivers who have made it through to the grand final here. Of course, Antoine Massé wouldn't be taking part even if they counted back a lap because his car is completely totaled, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah, what a pity, what a pity.
I'm just going to come and see if I can muscle in on this conversation here. Timmy just sitting on the floor. Guys, how are you?
Good, relaxing.
Good. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I would stand up as well. I'm good.
And Nelson, you're not hiding. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Guys, for you two, it was podium for yourself. A bit of unluck for you, unlucky kind of engine troubles yesterday. Was that due to the intense heat yesterday?
Yes, this engine is sensitive to the heat, and so it's something that we're having to work with. They've come up with really clever solutions to survive this. So in testing, it was a big problem, and I must say congratulations to the guys who've done this car, that they've managed to fix it so well, and the race was really good. My issue in the semi wasn't related to that really. It was just a mistake that caused me a high temperature. But now we've fixed that, and it should be okay today.
And Kevin, I randomly walked into the awning yesterday and heard the mechanics talking about a loose water pump. What I loved about it was then your mechanics went and told the other mechanics to make sure that it's fit perfectly on all the other cars. How do you feel about the kind of data information sharing here in TitansRX?
It's really nice. I think we're one big team that, you know, all the mechanics here have worked on the cars and build them together, and then we come here. Okay, we're split up in a bit of tents, so we have 3 cars in each tent, and we got 1 engineer for each tent. So it's a bit of split up here, but still everybody's here to do the same thing and to make sure this series is amazing. And we had a good start to the day yesterday, and still, you know, there is a very new car, so we need to find the small problems, solve them, and then it's better everybody have to solve the problems directly.
Welcome to the grid here in SA for the final of round 2 of TitansRX Europe. You can see the drivers now lining up on the grid for the final. 6 drivers in total who will be duking it out for the victory of round 2. So you can see the drivers on the grid. There is Kevin Hansen in the second row alongside Shushu. And it's Topi Heikkinen and actually Jerome Grosjean, not Hayden Padden, because his car is too damaged following that incident with Antoine Massé that we saw in semi-final 2. So Grosjean was the reserve driver. He has been brought forward. Anyway, the green flag is waved. The final here for round 2 of TitansRX Europe in SA is go. A good launch from Timmy Hansen, great launch from Craig Breen as well. And look out for Kevin Hansen on the outside as Shushu tries to muscle his way past. Timmy Hansen leads the way. Oh, big drama as Kevin's on the grass. He nearly goes into the side of Craig Breen, but he just about avoids him. Nearly taps the back of his brother as well. And Kevin Hansen is up into second position almost as they run side by side with Breen down towards the hairpin for the first time of asking. Timmy leads the way now from Kevin. This is brilliant, and Breen is getting punted into the back of by Shushu, who spins round Kevin Hansen. Big drama here, absolutely massive drama. You can see
he
there.
Was pushed wide. He was pushed wide, and he got back going again.
Well, now Topi Heikkinen is, he is in the pound seats here because he's in a great position to try and attack. You can see, though, Craig Breen has really lost out, and he now tries to attack Shushu and spins it round. Contact with the hairpin, and Shushu is spun round in the final by Craig Breen. And you can see the flames on the exhaust there as he tries to get himself up and running. Also no avail. That is a big shame. And Timmy Hansen as well. What a slide from the 2 Hansen brothers, who now lead the way here in the round 2 final, Larry. That first lap was absolutely mega.
Pieces falling off the cars. Well, this is better than I would have ever expected.
Absolutely amazing. Craig Breen there now into 3rd position at the expense, of course, of Shushu, who we saw a few minutes ago. And here comes Heikkinen. He's trying a move on Craig Breen. The 2 Audi S1 body kitted Pantera RX6 cars, they're looking very close indeed, but it's the 2 Hansen brothers that are leading the way. Timmy versus Kevin. That is going to be a very happy dinner in the Hansen team camp tonight if things stay as they are. But you can see a penalty lap there for Kevin Hansen, so by the looks of things. So Kevin Hansen has had to take a penalty lap for one reason or another, and he just slots back in front of Craig Breen there.
Yeah, incredible. And let's see what Topi does. He wants to go past, but Craig Breen is really doing well, given his limited experience, as he would have done always Rallycross.
Certainly is the case. You can see Topi Heikkinen there looking very racy indeed, and that penalty was given to Kevin Hansen for actually tipping off Craig Breen in that contact that we saw earlier on. So that is big drama there, and here comes Heikkinen into the back. Oh dearie me, as Grosjean in also Concertina's into the side of Heikkinen into that hairpin there as well. Breen does manage to hold on to third position as things stand, but he's very close now behind Kevin Hansen here in the final. It's a 7-lap final, don't forget, so they've got a bit more time to try and find their way past the drivers.
Exactly. You need to keep your head very cool now, but they seem to be doing well. I mean, no mistakes. If you can't afford to make any mistakes now.
Down in towards the hairpin we go, and Timmy Hansen is leading the way. As things stand, you can see the rear wing on his Pantera RX6 flexing as he goes over. Look at the dust here as well at SA, as Breen is now being attacked by Topi Heikkinen. Thomas Heikkinen is trying to find his way past, but he can't quite do so. There's one more lap to run after this one. We're on the penultimate lap here in SA, and here comes Heikkinen down the inside. Oh, and Breen contact the hairpin, and Breen gets shuffled wide, and Heikkinen is on the podium.
What an overtaking for Topi, fantastic, but Greg Breen has done extremely well, as he would have always done Rallycross, but now he got Topi got better of him. What an overtaking.
It's not over yet, because Grow Station Inn is going to fancy a slice of the action, and he fancies a slice of Craig Breen's car there as well. He biffs into the side of it. They do manage to stay on the straight and narrow, but this is no holds barred racing here in the final. Timmy Hansen takes victory in the final. Kevin Hansen in second place, and a brilliant celebration from Timmy Hansen following that one here in the Pantera RX6. He takes victory in round 2 of Titans RX Europe. Kevin Hansen makes it a Hansen Brothers 1-2 podium. Topi Heikkinen in third position at the end of that one. Absolutely massive drama here in Titans RX. And here comes Kevin and Timmy on top of their Panteras as well. What an absolutely mega atmosphere. They adore Rallycross with every fibre of their body. Well, a hugely impressive round 2 of Titans RX Europe here in SA. And the final results then of round 2. You can see the driver standings after the 2 rounds. Timmy Hansen takes 25 points, Kevin Hansen with 22 points, and Topi Heikkinen there in third position. Craig Breen in 4th, Jerome Grossation in 5th, Shushu in 6th, Patton in 7th. And you can see the drivers further down the order. This has been absolutely brilliant. Titans RX Europe in round 2 has been hugely exciting. So then, don't forget to join us at the end of July for more action of the 2019 Titans RX Europe Series.